So once again, we've been given a bunch of information regarding the future of Doom the Dark Ages, and this time it's a lot to chew on, which is great really considering the game's huge lack in content at the moment. We've not only heard more news about master levels, DLC, quality of life changes and balancing changes, but we've also heard some news about something that we've been asking for since 2016. And with all that said, I highly doubt that you want to listen to me ramble on anymore, so let's once again get into the future of Doom the Dark Ages. Previously, we've been told that the team at id Software is hard at work on these sort of level remixes, you know, like the master levels we had in Doom Eternal, and now we think we've just seen our first real glimpse at what this level's going to be. Now, if you're as brain rotted as I am, then you may have been on Instagram a little bit recently, and you may have seen that the Doom Instagram account has been posting some little snippets of the village of Kaleem. Now, why is this important? Well, it's because the game's already released. They don't need to show us this sort of marketing anymore. This fact has led many, including myself, to speculate that this is going to be the first real master level of the Dark Ages, and in full honesty, I think that the village of Kaleem is a perfect choice. It's one of the coolest levels in the entire game, and I'd really love to play through a harder version of it. Perhaps they'll go through with making every single level in the game into a master level, so that we can have our own master level campaign. Maybe something like that would really help please the crowd of people who thought that Dark Ages was too easy. And actually, speaking of difficulty and challenge, that brings us on to the next topic of discussion in this video. So whilst I did mention challenge, Doom the Dark Ages is getting a little bit more than just balancing changes this time around. In fact, it should be getting a feature that we've all been asking for since the game's release. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First of all, in the realm of balancing changes, both the Impaler and the Super Shotgun are set to have changes in the next update. However, I couldn't really find any specifics on what these changes were going to be. Currently, these are two of the most powerful weapons in the game, and I suspect that these changes are going to come in the way of nerfs. Maybe they'll be enemy specific, such as the Super Shotgun vs Hell Knight nerf that recently happened. Only time will tell, and we'll find out in the next update, which you should 100% be checking out, considering that one of the biggest changes to the Dark Ages is set to come with that update, and that change is a slow motion slider. During Hugo's most recent stream, we were shown some extended footage using the new slow motion slider. The slider allows you to adjust how much or how little slow motion effects you want to be added to your melees and parries. Recently, I've been playing the game with a mod that allows you to disable the slow motion effect, and let me tell you, this is the best version of Dark Ages that I've played. I honestly think that the game should have launched with either no slow motion or a slider like we're seeing in the next update. All they've got to do now is make it so that you can sprint in all directions with the auto sprint enabled, and then Dark Ages will really be the perfect Doom game. Now the part you've all been waiting for, the part I've all been waiting for, the part we've all been waiting for. Since Doom 2016, the Dark Ages might be getting a Horde Mode.
Wait, what? Really? They're finally gonna put me, Horde Mode Gaming, in a Doom game? Oh, thank God. I've been locked in Beansprout's content farm pumping out news videos for 5 years now. I thought I would never get out. He makes me do that stupid narration voice for every video. It's dreadfully dehumanizing. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. And don't even get me started on Mighty Doom. He had me working overtime churning out update videos for a damn mobile game. And after Dark Ages was announced, I thought he would finally let me focus on news videos again, but no, I had to grind out 40-second long vertical videos and push out news updates for every little tidbit of information. Do you know how many times I've had to say Doom the Dark Ages over the past year? It's enough to drive anyone insane!
Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So this is not fully confirmed for a future update, but it's a better confirmation than we've ever seen before. So a user on the Doom Reddit, which, yeah I know, it's the Doom Reddit, a bit stinky, but just listen to me on this. This user says, finish the Dark Ages. I don't want to pout with the game yet, but there's really nothing else to do in it. I'd be happy with an endless arena mode, maybe even a roguelike mode. Has anybody else thought about this? When Hugo replied to the comment, he had this to say: "More content incoming, and it's right in line with what you're asking for. We supported Eternal after launch with polish, balancing tweaks based on feedback, and additional content. Know that we are hard at work doing the same for the Dark Ages." And like I said, this isn't necessarily a full confirmation that we're going to get a Horde mode, but it gives us some peace of mind knowing that the devs are at least thinking about this. I just hope that they're able to do a better job than they did with Doom Eternal, because let's be real, that was a glorified arcade mode. Now, there isn't really a lot to talk about in this segment, however what we do have to talk about makes a massive difference for Doom as a franchise. Hugo has confirmed that the Dark Ages DLC will not end with the Slayer and the Night Sentinels being betrayed by Valen, nor will it end with the Slayer being trapped in hell and eventually imprisoned in the sarcophagus that he wakes up in at the start of Doom 2016. The reason for this is basically because they want to tell more stories using this medieval time period. Now, I'm not opposed to maybe another game that's set in this era, however at some point I do hope that we can return to the futuristic setting of Doom. However, I'm not going to worry too much about this because I think the story is in good hands, for the most part. So that's all of the news that we have to talk about regarding the future of Doom the Dark Ages. If you'd like to watch more content from myself, then I recommend clicking on either of the videos that are appearing on screen right now. Along with that, if you for some reason don't own Doom the Dark Ages, then you can go over to GAMESPLANET.com using the link in the description or the pinned comment and get the game for yourself at a discounted price. And of course, thank you for watching and have a nice day.